This is either the stupidest thing we've ever done on the channel, or the most Australian thing we've ever done on the channel. Those two things may not be mutually exclusive. Recently, I posted a video building an Infernus Marine Sergeant from the Combat Patrol magazine and left the scheme and the painting style up to the heretics. This is on you as much as it is on me. A few days after putting up the video, there were hundreds of comments and thousands of likes, and I went through and counted each and every single one. There were suggestions of Lamentors, Salamanders, Howling Griffins, Retributors, and then we had our winner. And because it took a little longer to count than I'd like to admit, I didn't film the process, but here's a dramatic reenactment. After counting up all the comments, suggestions, and likes, the winner is... Paint a model with Vegemite. Let's do it. After counting up all the comments, suggestions, and likes, the winner is... Paint a model with Vegemite. The fuck is wrong with you people? In videos past, Ninjon painted a Daughters of Cain model using his own blood. That's pretty badass, that's pretty metal. And me, well, I'm the silly cunt that gets to paint a Space Marine with Vegemite. This isn't even close to paint, so we've got to work a few things out before we even start. How does it thin? How does it dry? And is there anything else that we have to work around? If you put it to a nationwide vote in Australia, it would probably be voted illegal not to like Vegemite. And honestly, I'd back it. Just look at it. Twice as dark as my grandfather and half as salty. Don't read too far into that joke, he wasn't Catholic. Straight in with that attitude of step one, get some, we should probably see if it can be thinned to somewhat of a paintable consistency. With a touch of the airbrush medium that we set on the palette, it kind of does. To completely 100, I think this is less thinning and more just dissolving. And now that we've worked all the chunks out, let's see what it actually does. Yeah, that's pretty thin. I think it's instantly gone into wash territory. On a side note, this is actually roughly where you want your glazes to be transparency-wise. So the new standard, it's no longer the consistency of skim milk, it's the consistency of Vegemite. And if you're thinking that Vegemite is really thick out of the jar and that's confusing, yeah, but skim milk's no better. So stupid. Look, this is as good as it's gonna get, so let's just do the thing. Before we really get into it, I made that Army Painter Vegemite Hex. This is not an official paint, not an official color, and if it does become my first official color with the Army Painter, I will be so fucking mad. And a little bit proud, but mostly mad. Yeah, look, you can already tell a few brush strokes in, this is gonna be a thing. And from that initial paper test, yeah, this kind of tracks. It's essentially turned into a wash that holds its shape a little better. It doesn't run into the recesses. And as far as texture or feel goes on the brush, it's actually a little bit gooey. It reminds me of some paints that are kind of like have a gel medium. And if you have ever tried any of those paints, you know that they're not the easiest thing to work with. But for real, I don't actually hate the color as much as I thought I would. There's a bunch of dickheads out there that tell you don't hate the paint, but yeah. Good day to be a brush licker. Because this is roughly a glaze consistency, I worked with it as if it were, taking the same kind of cues from the finish as dry time, so this is a second coat. It reactivates. Like, crazy fucking reactivates. And with that one little squiggle of the paintbrush, we're in trouble. Before going back to the drawing board, I'm just gonna have a little play around, see what it does, and then, yeah, we're gonna have to go and wash this thing. Fine, I'll wash it properly. It worked though. While pondering the next move, I have another idea, which means I'm gonna have to put in some prep work. With a different model, I'm going pretty heavy in there with the Wicked Pink. And you may already guess, but yes, we're just gonna paint a yellow Space Marine. So if you clicked on this video for the lols, but you're also insisted on a fiston, this actually might work out for you. The whole pink base coat thing for painting yellow is fairly solid. But the big thing that you have to remember is wherever the yellow hits the pink, it's gonna turn orange. Which is actually the entire reason this happens. It's why people do it. It's specifically to get that orange because it's basically going to become the shadow tone. And to pop out everything so it actually reads as yellow, the real MVP here is the white. And if you don't have an airbrush, don't at me. You can do it with a dry brush or a rattle can. And then just hit up the brush for speed paint. But being legit, too legit to quit, get an airbrush if you want to paint a yellow army. Even changing all the paints out for a single model, it took literally 5 minutes to add on the pink, the white, and then get to the yellow. Which is actually why there's not a great deal of footage. Bet you didn't see us slipping a sneaky yellow guide in here, did you? The other thing that we're going to very quickly cover before we get back to the whole YouTuber paint with Vegemite because he's a dickhead thing is edge highlighting. Now, I probably went a little bright with this, but I have my reasons and you'll see later. But the big thing is, don't edge highlight every single line and panel. Just don't be an idiot. Oh, but that's what Vegemite does. Shut up, don't care. It takes too long and just looks like nothing. So instead what I'm doing here is obviously edge highlighting, but with somewhat of an idea of light direction. And if you're not comfortable with ideas of non-metallic metal, OSL, or volumetrics, this is a good way to start. Alright, here's something actually useful. Most likely the only useful bit of information in this entire video. I call it best black. A lot of black paints, when you start to thin them down, do exactly that. They go thin, they go washy, and you end up with more of a translucent grey. So to thin down to a workable consistency while still keeping all that colour punch, I started to use speed paints. You can adjust the ratio to whatever you like to work with, but basically, yeah, top thing, keep doing that. And real quick, just to start punching in some more of the details, the crest, Wyvern Fury, and then we punched into pure red for the highlights. Using the same idea, point all those highlights in one direction. And then because there's really only one detail left, we're going to go that barrel with a little bit of gunmetal, and then to start working in some of that kind of burn effect, we're going blue tone, purple tone, soft tone. Chuck them all on together, wet blender, metal, do just fine. Alright, we're finally back to that Aussie black gold. I don't know why I love that Vegemite painting hex so much, but I do. Because we found out that the coverage with Vegemite thin down kinda sucks, it acts like a wash, so let's treat it like a wash. I am going in pretty heavy with this so we get some pooling in the recesses, but I also found that wasn't quite the best idea, because at the end of the day, this is still fucking Vegemite. It doesn't seem to quite disperse when it's in a puddle or pooling like, a regular wash does. And as it dries, it kind of more solidifies back into its goo state. Not that you're ever going to do this in a million fucking years, but if you do, try and avoid that. To be fair, it's an easy cleanup if you don't. Because Vegemite as a wash, I don't think anybody's ever said that before, has a sepia amber kind of hue to it, it's a little harder to see on a yellow marine. But with how easily reactive it is, it means we can try out a reduction method, similar to how we'd use an oil wash. That same idea as oil paints with a little bit of thinners on a cotton swab, we're going to do the exact same thing here. And yes, I know it's not a cotton swab or a Q-tip, it's just a tea towel. I gave it a lick, gave it a pat, and it actually works really stupidly well. And I'll be honest, it works a little too well. This is probably my favourite wash. But before getting 3 knuckles deep on this, I might sit them on the shelf and see how long it takes for them to go fuzzy. If they don't, I'm going to be fucking rich. Alright, we've had our little detour, let's get back to the full Vegemite marine. We've established a few things. 1, Vegemite has very, very little coverage. And 2, it's reactive as fuck. For these 2 problems, we need 2 different solutions. Let's figure out the coverage thing first. I'm going to level with you. I tried one thing, it didn't work. So, I'm going to do this instead. Since adding any level of opacity here means less thinning and it just doesn't work as a paint, what I'm going to do instead is basically use a very, very targeted semi-zenithal approach. All it really means is I'm using the airbrush to set a lot of the values and volumes in these shapes. And then we're going to use those gradients as, well, our gradients. This time I'm going to try and mix the Vegemite wash into an actual wash. That, and when I came back to the wet palette, that first little puddle had kind of disappeared. Like, there is genuinely no trace of it. It's a little concerning, and I do think that my wet palette now tastes like Vegemite. Kind of a win. Flavoured sponges aside, mixing it in the army paint a little pop it well thing, I think that's actually a genius move. 1, it's not going to soak out anywhere or get hyperhydrated. And 2, since we are using it as a bit more of a traditional wash, we do have a bigger puddle to load up with. Now all we really have to do is start toning and tinting. The hardest thing here is actually trying not to go back and fixing up any of the blotchiness, because if we touch it again, we know exactly what's going to happen. So in a weird roundabout way, this is kind of just the best practices of glazing techniques. But just a little heavier, don't put that much glaze on. That's what she said. And if you do get a little hot and heavy, start pushing it around before it dries. The second issue we were having is the reactivation. Ninjon actually had a similar issue when he was painting with blood, so I kind of just flogged this idea. and it worked. It's less delicious, but it worked.
What I'm hoping for here is that adding a layer of matte varnish is going to seal everything in so we can come in with additional layers. The only fear at this point was if the varnish was wet enough to reactivate the Vegemite and kind of spider leg it everywhere. Obviously, it did not. And I'm pretty glad it didn't, because 1, this video would be over, and 2, the accumulation of layers from this particular color, this tint, actually it's starting to get pretty badass. And because it's a very strong yellow, amber kind of brown, by the time we get to the blacks, it does start to kind of shift into a green tone. Not a lot, just a hint. Which means I think we've just found the perfect recipe for Death Guard. Especially if it goes moldy in a couple of months. In fact, my only actual regret from this video is 1, I didn't figure this out sooner, and 2, we didn't use a Death Guard model. And no, calm your ass down, I am not painting Mortarion with Vegemite. A great unclean one we could make an argument for. Because 1, it'd be hilarious on the table, and 2, I would absolutely enter that into Golden Demon. Now that we're onto our third and final layer, I did actually do a little bit more experimenting off camera. Except this time it was using actual paints to try and recreate this color. The closest I found was a 1-to-1 mix of Strong Tone and Voodoo Shade. And then it's the exact same steps as we've done here, it's just layer after layer after layer. Which, yes, absolutely would take a while, but I kind of really like the idea of painting with washes. The build-up of tint over the transitions that we made with the airbrush, it's kind of an absolute banger. 1 more varnish and we're golden. This was such a stupid fucking idea and I love it. And while, yes, incredibly gimmicky, the outcome is kind of awesome. I'm not big on Grimdark and I will probably never ever have an army like this, but it's still kind of sick. And before you get too carried away, no, we're not doing this again. Not with maple syrup, not with mayonnaise, not with fucking nothing. The only thing left now is drop a comment below and let me know if you want an update to see if these things actually go moldy. As always, a massive thank you to InGames, the Army Painter, and the best Patreon members in the world. Big love, you filthy heretics.